everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I want to do a part 2 with you guys for my miscarriage story. So if you didn't know, I had a miscarriage. I found out around the end of April. That's when I started to bleed. But if you want to hear my whole story about that, I will link it in the description box down below. But I wanted to do a part 2 with you guys because I feel like when I was going through this, I was looking for videos and answers and something that I just couldn't find, especially in a time like this when we're feeling extra alone, just being away from family and things like that because of what's going on in the world with this quarantine and things. So I hope that this video is helpful for those who are going through it. Know that you are not alone. This is such a common thing that happens in women, unfortunately, and I just want to let you know that I'm here for you guys. If you want to send me a message or you have questions, then definitely let me know, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I've had friends talk to me recently and ask me questions because I think too a part of them is just curious. So even if you're not going through this, but you have any questions, I can try to answer them as best as I can. I mean, please be kind. That's all I ask. And yeah, so let's just jump into it and get started. So let's talk about the physical, because I feel like that is the first thing I noticed after the bleeding had stopped. So it took about almost 2 weeks for the bleeding to stop. It was probably 13 days, I want to say, 14 days, and by then there was like barely anything. So it was kind of like almost when I had, if you've ever given birth before, it takes a little while and you have some bleeding. It was kind of like that same amount of time. So when I had Elizabeth, I want to say it was like close to 2 weeks I bled for, and that was the same. Although this was bleeding as well as like chunks of tissue, I believe. I'm not an expert. I don't even know what it is. But, and I don't want to get too descriptive. If I find some some good resource, I will put it here on, if I can find a better word to describe it, what it is. Like, I want to use a proper medical term, but sorry, I feel like I'm saying a lot. But yeah, so after I stopped bleeding, that's when I noticed I could start fitting back into my old clothes again. So in my first trimester, I couldn't believe how quickly I grew out of my clothes became a little bit more snug. So when everything went back to normal, that's when I felt like I could fit into my old clothes again, which was really nice, because if I wasn't going to be pregnant, at least let me be able to fit into my clothes again. So that is what I first noticed with the physical aspect. Oh, excuse me. So it was nice to know that, okay, I'm done bleeding, I can fit into my old clothes again, and it just helped make me feel like it helped me move forward, if that makes any sense. So that's what I noticed first physically, and who knows, I could have fit into them sooner when the whole bleeding happened, but to be honest, I just wanted to be super comfy while my body did its thing, and jogging pants and yoga pants are all that I wanted to wear. I did make myself kind of get dressed every other day and put something on that made me feel good. So a lot of times it was just my workout clothes, my leggings, and a nice cute workout top, and that's what made me feel as good as I could feel during this time. So that's what I did, and that's kind of where I was physically. And then mentally, all that stuff, I was doing pretty good. I had one cry session through this whole thing, like full-on cry session, and that is when I told my close friends and family. And the reason why I did this is because I didn't want them to find out through somebody else. I didn't want it to slip. I didn't want them to say something to me that, like, when are you going to have the next baby? So when's this going to be a big sister? Things like that people say out of harm, but it can be really hurtful, especially for somebody who has been trying for a long time or has gone through a miscarriage. So yeah, I just did that, and I felt so better. Everybody was so kind, and that's what got me so emotional, because I don't know, it's just everybody was just so sweet and kind, and it meant a lot to me. So yeah, I felt really grateful to have such amazing people in our lives. And so I did, after a while, tell a few coworkers, even though we're not working right now. I told some of my closest ones. I knew that eventually word would get out. I did tell my employer, just because I, just thought she had the right to know, kind of thing. And I can't remember why I told her. Oh, it was because I went to the hospital. That's when I told her, and I just didn't know how she would feel with me being at the hospital, if she still wanted me to come in and do a live circle, even though I'm like by myself, kind of thing. So anyway, I talked to her about that, and then I told my closest coworker friends, because I didn't want them finding out through somebody else. Eventually, I don't mind telling my coworkers and stuff like that, but I'm not just gonna randomly message them while we're not at work and be like, oh hey, by the way, I had a miscarriage. So I wanted to make sure my closest gal pals knew. I didn't want them finding through anybody else, and I felt like they deserved to know. So yeah, I did that, and then, like I said, I was feeling okay. I would have moments of sadness at night. Those were the hardest for me, because Richard would be on night shift, I was by myself, and everybody and their brother seems to be getting pregnant but me. And obviously I'm still happy for them, and I have the right to stay off social media if it's just getting too hard. But I was okay. It was just sad. Like, obviously I was excited for them, especially new-time moms. Like, it's an exciting time, and I think it'd be a little different if this was my first pregnancy, but I've had a healthy pregnancy. I have Elizabeth, who I love more than anything in the world. She is, in my eyes, perfect, basically, and I'm so grateful for her and that I get to be her mom. So I think that's why I'm not like, it's not as hard on me. So there was that, and then my big breaking point was a couple weeks later, when I was watching an episode of Suits with my husband. Don't spoil it for anybody else. I'm not going to say what episode, but there was an episode, and there was a scene at the end of an episode, and it just like hit home to us. And I got really emotional, and we both cried that night. I stayed up way late than I needed to, just crying, but I think I needed it. Like I said, I hadn't cried through this whole process really over it, and it was just really good to cry with Richard, my husband, and just grieve, like, it sucks. Like, nobody wants to go through this. I don't wish this on anybody. I know there's a lot, like, medical wise and health wise, there are a lot worse things in the world, right, that people are going through. So I was grateful that, it could have been worse, kind of thing. Like, I couldn't imagine, having a full-term pregnancy and everything being good, and then something happening right then and there, right? Like, that would have been so traumatic. So I was okay. Like, I was okay, and then, like I said, that point I had like just a good cry session. And how was I supposed to know? I didn't know that scene was coming. It came out of nowhere, right? And yeah, so, and it wasn't a miscarriage. So if anybody's watching Suits, nobody has a miscarriage. It was just something that happened, and yeah, it just, like I said, it hit home for us. And then the other time that it really got to me was not that long ago, somebody had tagged me in an Instagram post. That's what we do, right? When people are giving giveaways, we tag people. It might be your close friend, it might be just somebody you know that you're like, oh, I need somebody to tag, so I'm just gonna tag you, kind of thing. And it was to win a pregnancy pillow. And it hurt, because I'm like, I don't need a pregnancy pillow right now. One, I already have one, but two, like, I'm just like, and I was gonna message her and be like, hey, just so you know, this happened, and could you please not tag me in any future pregnancy related giveaways? But I was like, you know what, don't even worry about it. She didn't know, and if it happens again, okay, fine. So that's what I just did. I just left it at that. But that was also hard for me, just because I didn't expect it, right? But other than that, I'm doing okay. I love, people are checking in on me and making sure, like, we're all doing okay, and we are. Like, I mean, it just wasn't our time. I know people don't like to hear it, but I truly believe it. Like, everything happens for a reason, and it wasn't our time. Maybe we were only meant to have Elizabeth. I have no idea what the future holds. But for now, we're just enjoying being a family of 3. And then I also wanted to talk to you guys about my period, because I know for those who are going through a miscarriage right now, you want to know, right? You're like, okay, when am I going to get my period back? So when I had looked up information on this, because I just felt like nobody could help me, even the medical professionals. Like, they didn't, not that I asked some of them, but the ones that I did ask, they had no answers. And I'm just like, how do you not have answers to this? And I get everybody's different. That's what's so hard too about this. But nobody gave me like a rough idea. So it told me 4 to 6 weeks after my miscarriage. But when is the miscarriage? Like, when can you date it? Like, you know what I mean? There's no really, to me, there's no specific date. So when I had my ultrasound at 9.5 weeks, they told me that baby stopped growing. It looked like baby stopped growing at 6 weeks. Okay, so is it 6 weeks from that? Because I don't know. I feel like that wasn't right. So like it didn't make any sense. So I went off of how I tracked my period, and it was right. And even then, like, it's kind of a hit or miss, and it could have been just luck. I don't know, but I was just like, okay, I should get it by this date, and if not, I'm gonna talk to my doctor and be like, hey, this is what's happening. I still haven't got my period yet. And because they say too, like, you want to make sure before you start trying again too, like, that you have like your periods are normal again. So what I did was I dated it from the Friday that I saw the pink, and 6 weeks from that was going to be the Friday. And so I guessed I was going to have it on the Saturday, because I'm like, well, it was just pink on Friday. So like, but it was like actually bleeding on Saturday. So I think I'm going to have it on Saturday. So what actually happened was I had it, so today's Monday, and I actually got it on Thursday. And it was just like the tiniest little dot. So I thought, oh, I'm getting my period, but that was it. It was the tiniest little dot. Friday was maybe the size of a quarter. Once again, like a dot, that's it. And then Saturday is when it actually started, like, a period. So it's kind of funny. I don't know what word you want to use, but after having Elizabeth, my periods always came on a Thursday. So baby was, like, we were going by how many weeks baby was every Thursday, because that was the first day of my missed period. And so it didn't kind of surprise me that I actually got on a Thursday, but I didn't actually get my period until like the Saturday, like a full-on period. And now I'm basically like almost done. Like, it's just a light period, and so I'm sure by tomorrow I'll be done, which is typically like Thursday to Monday is like my normal period schedule. So I'm kind of heavier on the weekends and then lighter on the other days, which is like perfect. If I'm gonna be heavier, let it be on the weekends when I'm not working and stuff. Not that my periods are like that crazy, but yeah, it was just nice to get my period back, and just once again that step of moving forward, feeling normal again. I had to do blood work, I think 5 times. So I don't know about you guys, but I had to go every week and just make sure my levels were going back down. And so my last Friday I was at a 10, and they want you to be like below a 5 to be considered like normal, like not pregnant again. And so I had to go back one more time, and I wanted to make sure that I was at a 0 for sure. So I decided to wait until the following Friday. They said I could come back earlier, but I didn't want to have to get, like, what if I went and it was like at an 8 or something? I doubt it, but you know what I mean? I wanted to make sure I was completely done. So I waited the Friday, and I got blood work done, and it said that I was like 0. And the really nice thing was they would text me the results. I don't know if it's just with everything going on, my specific case, I have no idea, but I actually got the results that night, which was awesome. I think it was like after 6 p.m. or something. They texted me the results. I had to like log in and use this like password and stuff, but I was able to see my results, which was awesome. And yeah, it just feels good to like kind of be back to normal. And I'm doing okay. I'm focusing on Elizabeth and being like the best version of myself, you know, being a good wife, homemaker, employee, you know, all that kind of stuff. I'm kind of also putting my energy into our house. You know, it's giving me something to look forward to. Since I don't have any ultrasounds to look forward to, you know, we're not going to be finding out the gender, kind of thing, you know, like there's none of that to look forward to now. So, you know, at least I have this, like, what's our next project going to be? Just like looking up different things. Now that I kind of have a vision of what I want, So I'll actually leave, if you guys want to check those out too, I'll leave our hallway makeover and our playroom makeover that we did in the description box down below. But I hope you found this video helpful. This is going to be, I think, my last miscarriage video. I don't see why I would do one again. So I hope you guys found this informative and helpful. And like I said, if you need to talk to somebody, I'm here. I've had some people reach out to me, which has been amazing to connect and meet new people. It sucks that these are the circumstances and this is how we're meeting, but nonetheless, I've met a lot of great women on this community and I'm forever grateful. So I am going to go now. If you like, I don't know if you like this video, subscribe. But if you know, enjoy motherhood, cleaning content, then definitely hit the subscribe button. I also have a planner channel now, so anything like planners, agendas, organization kind of thing, I'm going to link that down below as well. So subscribe if you like that kind of content, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Alrighty, hey guys, so it is Editing Ashley, and I forgot to tell you guys one thing. I was actually gonna like type it on the screen, but I felt like it was too much to say. I didn't want to come off as like greedy, but I had issues with my EI, so I ended up calling them during the pandemic because I hadn't got paid in like 5 weeks, and it's my money to claim. Like, I'd like to get paid, you know. I got bills to pay and all that fun stuff. And so when I talked to them, when I had to fill out the form originally, it had said if you were pregnant, would you like to claim your maternity leave now? And I hit no, because at the time I was like 7 weeks or something like that. And no, I just found out I was pregnant, so I was like 4 weeks. And yeah, and whatchamacallit, so I hit no because I'm like, I don't want to claim him right now. And then so when I called him, he was like trying to figure all that out, and I said, no, you don't have to worry anymore, like, you don't have to figure anything out because I'm no longer pregnant. And he was super sympathetic, really, really nice, easy to talk to, and he actually said that I claim for like sick leave or sick benefits or something like that. I don't know what it's called here in Canada. So if you live in Canada or wherever country you live in, talk to somebody, try to figure out if you qualify, because I remember saying to Richard so many times, and I might have even said it in my first miscarriage video, I don't understand how people could work and like go through this like forever. Whoever does that, like, you are a warrior. I couldn't imagine. And with my job too, it's like I work with kids, so like, how is somebody, like, it's kind of hard to find a staff to fill my place for however long, right? I had no idea how long the bleeding was going to last for, how long I'd want to be off for. So and for me, like, emotionally, I would have been okay to work, like, it wouldn't have bothered me, it would have kept me busy. But like the pain and the bleeding and stuff, like, I had to switch my pad out so many times that like I'd be constantly leaving the classroom if that was the case, being at work. So that was kind of cool that I qualified for that. So definitely look into it. So if you have a miscarriage and you are working in Canada, you are qualified to take it off and use it as like a sickness leave kind of thing. So definitely look into it, because you do not deserve to be at work while you're going through this. Like, if you can be at home, I think that is just so much better for your mental health and physical health, because that way you can just like be able to change yourself and clean yourself when you want to at any time. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there. Like I said, I hope this video is helpful, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.